Hey Fit Vegans in the making, good morning, it's Florian here, and today I really want to explain you the psychology of fitness success. What you really need to do in order to achieve your goals. Because I've realized with a lot of the clients that I work with, even if they get great meal plans, even if they get great workout plans and accountability, some clients just succeed way better than others. And I've realized that over time, there's a huge part when it comes to mindset. In everything that you want to achieve in your life, your mindset and what you think in your brain plays a huge part. So if you just watch this video until the very end, you'll know where you're stuck at and how you can change this in the most simple and effective manner. All I ask in return is to smash the goddamn like button. So let's dive right into it. So we have to understand that our current perception of reality is a summation of multiple beliefs. Okay, so you have belief 1, belief 2, and belief 3. And now these naturally you have like millions of beliefs in your brain, because you have a couple, like a trillion or so neural connection. So here we have, this is how a belief is structured. A belief, when you boil it down to, is essentially like a transistor, like in a computer, between a yes and no. Most beliefs can boil down to a yes and no option. For example, pro-Trump, contra Hillary, pro-capitalism, contra capitalism, pro or against, plus or minus. And if you are plus or minus, this is not like ingrained in your DNA, not ingrained in your genetics. This is mostly correlated with your experience and with your thoughts. Okay, so if you, for example, if you are younger and you really get screwed over by a salesman, for example, then it's likely that afterwards you became like anti-capitalism or something. Just because your beliefs of something are based on the experience and based on the thoughts that you play over and over again. That's why also when you have negative experiences, they tend to shape your identity more than positive experiences, because negative experiences, they usually give you more trauma and you replay them over and over and over in your head. So they strengthen this specific belief. And if you don't believe me, then just look at fascinating stuff like Stockholm Syndrome. This is actually when people, they love their kidnapper after a certain time, just because this kidnapper served so many impressions. So instead of like the negative one, the positive belief of that kidnapper got served. So people, after they've been kidnapped, they want to go back to their kidnapper. And this is not something unusual. This is just apparently seems to be how our brain is structured. Then you can also see this in prisoners. People that spend like 10, 20 years in a very horrible place, like essentially prison, and nobody wants to go there because it takes away your freedom, but they somehow want to go back and they commit crimes to go back to prison. Simply because this neural pathway, when it comes to prison, or when it comes, it becomes something they really like in a weird way. Also, you can see this in a funny way. We usually, sometimes, I've used this, like I've seen this with my friends. You seem to get really used to your friends, that you really start liking them. And when you, for example, let's imagine you have a guy friend and you want to find like a girlfriend or so for him. You tend to overvalue the attractiveness of your guy friend unconsciously, simply because this guy served you so many impressions. You've seen this guy so many times that you really start liking him. So the belief or the neural connection when it comes to your friend is really strong. So I think you tend to overvalue the attractiveness of a friend. I've read this some time ago. It's quite fascinating. So here, for example, my beliefs when it comes to children, when it comes to creating a family, at this point in time, it's more of a no pathway. Simply because, I mean, my family history is like, it is a little bit weird, like the divorce and all that stuff. So it's not really positively correlated in my brain at this point in time. Then here we have fitness. Fitness in my brain is really positively correlated because I have a six-pack. I've achieved a lot of results in the gym, and I helped a lot of clients get results in the gym. So that's why it is positively correlated in my brain. But here's the thing. We all have to understand that these beliefs right here, they're not set in stone. And we always have to ask ourselves, do these beliefs serve me? Because if they don't serve you right here, let's imagine you have a fitness belief, and it's like on the no pathway because you had a failed diet. You drank like 10 10 supplements that didn't work. You had like 2 personal trainers, and you had like 3 times failed gym memberships. And if you realize that these, after some time, this becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And you're just like, okay, apparently nothing seems to work for me. And this is not fucking true. And this is not fucking true. So there are 3 things. If this is your mindset at this moment in time, you have to understand that your mindset is only like this based on your past experience and based on your identity, and maybe because of your environment. So what you have to do now, 3 points. Number 1, first you have to be aware of this. What this means, you have to be aware that this is not based on your genetics, and this is not based on something that you can control, but just based on the previous experiences and thoughts that you had in your mind. And this is nothing bad, just work on changing it right now. Number 2 is you have to understand that all you need really is one positive reference experience. So when you train in the gym and you think you can change your body, and suddenly you look at your arm and you see an extra vein, or you look in the mirror and you see a little bit of a six-pack, that usually all it takes, funny way, like even if you have a very structured negative pathway, to change in a positive direction, simply because it goes into a positive circle. And number 3, you can program your mind so it goes into direction that you want. And you can do this by affirmations, and a lot of athletes use affirmations. You simply state there's certain attitudes, there's certain behaviors that you want to cultivate. For example, I tell to myself every single morning that I feel excited, exhilarated, and confident each morning as I open my eyes. Okay? Because I really struggled with waking up in the morning on time. I just repeat this over and over and over again, so I program my mind the way I want this to be programmed. Okay? So realize your beliefs that you currently have, they're not set in stone. And you can do these 3 things. First, you have to be aware, then you just need to work with everything you have for a positive reference experience, and then you program your mind, or everything at the same time. Okay, Fit Vegans in the making, thank you for tuning in. Until next time.